Hello, welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition Storm of Magic battle report. So this is a 2,500 point battle, Dark Elves versus Demons. And obviously at the Storm Magic you get 625 points of monsters as well. And we're doing the standard Storm Magic scenario, so it's whoever controls the most fulcrums at the end wins, and if it's equal then you go down to victory points. So I'll go over my Dark Elf army. First of all, on the fulcrums I have Malekith on a cold one, and this is a Fimir Balefiend. Right, so over here I've got 5 Dark Riders without the riders. This is a Greater Chaos Spawn, it's actually a Brood Horror model. 23 Spearmen with Hellebron, a Hydra, 21 Executioners and a BSB, and also a level 2 Sorceress, 5 Warlocks, an Arcane Phoenix from the Monstrous Arcane book. So that's most of my army over there, and then looking quite forlorn over here defending this fulcrum, there's 23 Witch Elves and a Kharybdiss. So across the table we've got the Demons. We'll start with 3 Plague Drones, a Soul Grinder, a Giant, and this spawn is a Beast of Nurgle, which actually looks better than the Beast of Nurgle models. 20 Plaguebearers and a Tzeentch wizard back there, level 2, I presume.
Yeah.
The fulcrum, what is that again?
Truthsayer,
from the Storm Magic book. 10 Bloodletters, Skull Cannon, 15 Pink Horrors, 3 Bloodcrushers, 3 Screamers, don't know what that is. That's a great Unclean One with the internal blade, and he also does multiple wounds too. 5 Seekers and a Manticore from Storm Magic. Right, so let's get started. Okay, I got the first turn, and so my movement phase, everyone's moved up. The spawn only got like 6 on its 3d6 movement. The Phoenix has flown to just behind this rock in the centre, and by the other fulcrum I haven't moved anyone. Right, so I've just finished the magic phase. Not much really happened. I got a Doom Bolt off on the Giant, but I just rolled poorly on the hits and I did 1 wound. I tried to cast a death spell.
Choking Throw.
So I tried to do something to deceive the sorcerer, but couldn't. Then I didn't have line of sight for something else. However, I did get the death signature spell off on the Beast of Nurgle and did pretty well and killed it. And that was all for magic. I tried to teleport the Witch Elves with the Cataclysm spell for Shadow, this guy, but that didn't go through. So now it's shooting. I've only got the Dark Riders with the repeated crossbows, and all they can shoot at is these guys. Needed 8s to hit, although one of them, because he's on the edge, did need 6s, and he got 2 hits. So it's 6s to wound now. Let's see what he can do. And he got. So what is it?
It's armour piercing, isn't it?
It's armour piercing, so you just got the award. I did a wound, see, it's always worth blinking away. So that's the end of my turn. On to Demons, turn 1. Right. End of Demons movement. There wasn't really much, was there? These guys backed up, terrified of the frenzied shots
Dark Riders.
Dark Riders. I think he stayed put. In fact, yeah, they just moved round. Giant, did he back up as well?
Yeah.
Basically everyone tiptoed backwards, apart from obviously this flank going after the much weaker fulcrum on this side. These are moved up in such a way that these units can't get a charge in on them. And who's come around here? That's
Same
it.
reason Cold Fulcrums can't be charged.
Yeah. So that's it. Magic. So Demons have just rolled for their magic. Obviously, Reign of Chaos, I think you take the 2 highest dice, and that's what you get on the Reign of Chaos. And normally, obviously, in a normal battle, it's just 2d6. Obviously, Storm Magic, much better for them. They've got a double 6, which means I think they summon a unit of whatever. anywhere you want, I think.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
You
So
need
that's pretty
2d6 plus 3, Bloodletters, Pink Horrors, Plaguebearers or Demonettes. I get to choose.
Nice.
Anywhere on the battlefield, 1 inch away from models. And
Oh
terrain.
well, good to know it's not completely over the top then.
Yeah. I can't put it in base contact.
You can't put it on top.
I can
of
charge
one
in the
of
next
the
turn. I
models.
can't charge because I can't. Yeah.
You can charge next turn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we'll sort that out and then we'll come back to you at the end of Magic. Okay, so it's the end of the Magic phase. Demons got 8
Plaguebearers.
Plaguebearers. There's obviously warrior models, but and they've appeared conveniently behind this fulcrum. So spell-wise, it's pretty good. I think basically I didn't really use any dispel dice because there was an irresistible force at one point and really high casting rolls. I think it was +8 to cast. Was that right? So basically a invisible fire.
+7 for the Pink Horrors.
+7 for the Pink Horrors. Invisible fire of Tzeentch got through onto the Witch Elves and killed 9. And also restored or raised 3 Pink Horrors, who subsequently cast Bolster Change on the Phoenix, miscast, and 9 of, was it?
So 6 died.
Six of them died, so not so bad since they did have 3 extra ones. Yeah, 2+ ward save went through on the giant. That was irresistible as well, I think.
Yeah.
And
no, it wasn't irresistible because it's a cataclysm spell.
the cataclysm, but I think
I rolled really high.
it was like 18.
I rolled 3 6s plus a 4.
Yeah.
So I rolled and plus.
The reason I
Plus
didn't
6,
dispel a lot of these spells is because I was terrified of a grandfather Nurgle Circle of Life from the Great Unclean One, which never ended up being cast. Basically, that could raise another Great Unclean One, so I'm pretty scared of that. I think that's it for the magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so comes at the end of shooting. Pretty uneventful phase. The Skull Cannon tried to shoot diagonally across here. It stuck in the ground in the spear and didn't do anything. And then the Soul Grinder had a flame template shot at these are executioners, the Soul Grinder models.
There's something else I can do actually because he's got a harvester cannon because he hasn't moved. He can fire both.
Okay, we'll do that in a sec. So basically, he shot his template, but it didn't roll really well, and it only killed 2 guys. So apparently, he's got some sort of cannon. I think harvester cannon isn't that grape shot.
Oh, it's pretty great.
So that's 12 inches normally, unless it's.
Oh, is it only 12
yeah,
inches? Oh,
grape
no,
shot
see what
normally
it
is,
is. Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, it's 12 inches. We just looked it up. So that's end of Demons, turn 1. On to Elves, turn 2. So my turn 2, the Kharybdiss tried a long charge against the Seekers. Needed a 9 and it got double bomb, so it's nowhere near enough. And stumbled forward 1 inch. No other charges. The Arcane Phoenix has a special rule where it can just draw a line 18 inches in the movement phase and move along it and come into contact with an enemy unit, so it's got those Plaguebearers. And then everyone's sort of moving up here in a pretty haphazard sort of fashion. And that's all my movement. End of my magic phase. I started off with Choking Foe on the Soul Grinder, dispelled. And then a Curse of Lanith also dispelled. This Truth Say is level 3 with +2 to dispel as well. It's getting +5 to dispel. I then cast the boosted version of Doombolt onto the Truth Sayer. And that just couldn't be dispelled, rolled too high. But it only did 1 wound because this guy's got, I didn't realise, a magic resistance 3. So he's got 2 plus ward save against it. I didn't get that many hits. So I did 1 wound to him, and then the last spell, what was that again? Bridge of Shadows to try and teleport the Executioners, and that was dispelled as well. Yeah, just about, yeah. So pretty crap magic phase. Got my Dark Riders to do shooting now. I'm doing the shooting for the Dark Riders. Obviously, I'm not really expecting them to do anything to the Soul Grinder, but, you know, might get a wound through. This is there to hit roll. So, 1 hit, and let's see if that can wound. What's his toughness? Okay, only 1 combat. The Phoenix obviously in the flank of the summoned Plaguebearers. Killed 3, I think. So all strikes first. Didn't do really well with Thunderstomp. Took a wound in return. So there's the 3 dead. So they're taking the leadership test at minus a few. And there is their roll, which means they all come back. So at least he's stopping them from getting into combat, but for God's sake. Right, so Demons turn 2. So Demons turn 2 movement. The plague drones have come round to the side. Outside of the Hydras for an arc, and this spawn won't be able to get to them due to these models in the way. Stay still, stay still, stay still. On this fulcrum, the wizards swap round, so the Truth is now behind the fulcrum, and the Tzeentch Herald on top. Everyone else stayed still, and then this flank is no longer there, because they all moved 20, and they've all come round here.
Kill 2.
Oh yeah, the Screamers flew over the Witch Elves, killed 2. These guys reformed last turn to be facing the Phoenix. My Kharybdiss is left just staring out towards that building. Demons, magic, and Dan's just roll for the power dice. This is turn 2, mind. Another double 6, yay! We get another unit summoned anywhere he wants. Right, so yeah, we'll come back again at the end of magic. So, end of Demons magic phase. Pretty good one. So first of all, these are more Plaguebearers. And obviously they're put in the most annoying position imaginable in front of these Executioners. And then in the magic phase, they've got Shield of Thorns on them, but I figure I can just dispel that in my phase if I want to. 2+ ward save on the Giant again.
Plus gave him a wound back as well.
Yeah, and restored his wound with some life spell. What was that life spell?
Because I cast Shield of Thorns and
oh right, that was the life spell, wasn't it? Yeah. What else?
Cast Enchanted Blades on them.
+1 to hit on them. And Wonder Whimsy gave him altogether 2 tokens this turn, so he's now strength 5
for 4 attacks.
Yeah, pretty good. What was his other spell? His was a 2+ ward, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that all the spells?
Yeah, and then I failed to cast Searing Doom.
Right, okay.
I didn't cast any more.
And then the phase was ended with quite a lot of dispel dice, quite a lot of power dice left, but I had even more dispel dice, which I hadn't used again. So on to shooting. Right. End of Demons shooting phase, a ridiculously good phase for them. So basically, first of all, the Soul Grinder shot his flame template, a nice juicy target, and killed 17 spearmen.
And knocked a wound off the Hydra as well.
Oh yeah, and in the process it took a wound off Hydra. It also fired its grape shot at the Hydra and did another few, so it's done 3 wounds total to the Hydra.
Yeah,
pretty good.
2 more wounds, yeah.
And oh yeah, and then the cannon got a direct hit against the Greater spawn and rolled a 5, killing it outright. So that's weakened this flank significantly.
Yeah, this flank's not less scared than
yeah.
it used to be.
Thank God I got my other flank away. Right, yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
but you never know what's going to happen in Storm Magic.
Well, no.
You know.
Yeah, it's pretty mental so far. I mean, we've got to get past these things now.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Dark Elves turn 3.
That's my combat.
Oh, combat, yeah, this combat. Right, yeah, let's do that and see what happens. You got +1 to hit as well.
Yeah, okay.
So in combat, my Phoenix killed 2 with its attacks. I think 1 with attack, 1 with thunderstorm or something, was it? In return, it took enough wounds to bring it down to 1 wound remaining, and it's unstable, so it's dead. Yeah, this free unit Plaguebearer is doing pretty well. But it has a special Phoenix rule where it can come back to life on a 5+.
So with one wound remaining.
Yeah, so it's a bit different to the one in the High Elf book. Right, so let's see what it gets. Oh,
okay, back
to life. With 1 wound remaining, and 4 guys take a strength 5 hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least it's not dead. Awesome. Right, so 3+.
2.
2, yeah.
Both safe.
Save, double 6.
So it didn't do anything to me, but you got back with 1 wound still, so you're still in combat, which is good.
The thing is with this thing is it doesn't have any saves, so I think you got like 3 poisoned attacks against it.
I did, yeah.
I thought it had a ward save, but
Because the other one does, but
yeah, I was just
I remember thinking it's quite weak.
Yeah, but
yeah,
still alive. Right, so now it's my turn 3. End of my turn 3 movement. I charged the Executioners into the summoned Plaguebearers, obviously. I tried a double charge with the Spearman with Hellebron and the Hydra. Hydra had to make it, and also had to charge him to get him out of the way for the Spearman. Spearman needed 7 and failed, so they just went forward 5, yeah. So that sucks, and it's going to be too late in the game by the time that Hellebron does anything to really affect the game, since you'll have to overrun and stuff. No other charges. The Kharybdiss has turned round, and the Witch Elves, basically because these units all move 10 and see there's not much space there, they couldn't achieve anything by just turning around, so I figured they might as well head over here. And I quite like the Warlocks being in that position, so they're going to stay there. Oh, and the Dark Riders have come round to shoot at the Truthsayer behind there. Right, end of Dark Elves magic phase. Only one spell really got through. Just again, 4 dice do bot from these guys. This time it killed the Tzeentch Sorcerer. Obviously the other guy can walk onto the fulcrum, but it's nice. One of them is dead. Well, yeah, got some bolts to fire at him. What else did I try? Can't remember now. I dispelled the Shield of Thorns.
Well, she failed her first spell.
Oh yeah, the Death Sorceress failed.
She couldn't cast
I also cast minus strength on the Plaguebearers, so they're strength 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, end of magic. So in shooting I didn't manage to cause any wounds to Truthsayer, and then in combat the Phoenix finally killed those Plaguebearers.
It was relatively easy in the end.
Yeah, pretty easy. What should have done the first time round, really. Yeah. The Hydra just died straight away to the Soul Grinder before it could even attack. And the Executioners lost 1 and then wiped out the Plaguebearers just through crumbling, basically. Demons turn 3 charges. We've got the Manticore into the Fimir Balefiend, and then the Seekers charge the flank of the Kharybdiss. No other charges. The Screamers flew over the Phoenix, which had 1 wound left, and killed it with their slashing attack.
Soulgrinder backwards.
Yeah, in typical, well, what seems to be typical demon fashion from this battle, the Soulgrinder backed up, and the Giant also just, I think, backed up. Yeah, so rather than, obviously doesn't want to be charged by Hellebron. And the Plague drones flew around to the side. No other movement over here. I think they pivoted, yeah. Right, so magic. End of the magic phase. The Truthsayer got Shield of Thorns off on them and restored his wound. Then cast Dwellers Below on Hellebron's unit, which I dispel scrolled. A couple of other failed spells, I think. Nothing else got through. Shooting, the cannon fired into the flank of Hellebron's unit, but just missed them. And the Soul Grinder, again, flames on toughness 3 elves. Yeah, killed like, what did it, 11 Executioners, who now look like they've got a bit of an uphill battle ahead of them. So, combat over here with the Seekers in the flank of the Kharybdiss. I did no wounds, and they did 1 with the flank, charge, banner and everything. I needed double 1s. I rolled a 7 to flee, and with Swift Ride they pursued 6. So that's very annoying for demons.
Yeah.
But
just take it out, because it has to be your turn 4 next.
Yeah.
So you pass, you can't do turn 4, turn 5, you can.
The game a bit. So yeah, we'll do that, and then we've got the Manticore to do as well. So against the Manticore, basically Manticore caused 1 wound to me, did none in return, stubbornly debate, and I passed. Oh, and also the Seekers actually overran into the building. Not that they can fight because they have to choose 1 model, but yeah, they couldn't get the Kharybdiss anyway. Right, that's the end of Demon's turn. On to Elves' turn 4.
Yeah, he's turn 4.
Okay, so end of my movement phase. The Dark Riders charge into the flank of the Soul Grinder. Hellebron's unit tried an 8-inch charge on the Giant and failed again. These Executions have just moved to be in front of the Plaguebearers. Dark Riders stay put. The Witch Elves failed their frenzy test and had to try and charge the Bloodcrushers, and failed the charge, and the Kharybdiss rallied. That's it. Right, end of my magic phase. Started off with I can't remember what I started off with. Did a wound to that guy somehow.
Yeah.
What caused the wound on him?
Crest of Lannis or something like that?
Choking foe.
No, I'd spelled choking foe. That
Tried choking foe on a soul grinder.
I'd spelled.
Cast some sort of death spell on him and did a wound. And then basically 4 dice Doombolt on him again just to try and sneak through another 2, but caused like 8 or 9 wounds.
It was 11 wounds, I said all of them.
11 wounds was it, right. And yeah, 2+ ward, saved them all.
Then cast Magical Duel.
Magical Duel.
You cast like Spirit Leech as well, which I dispelled. Or
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Basically the only other spell I cast then, I had 2 dice left after all the power dice had been used up. Magical Duel cast and just rolled like a 4 on Magical Duel and didn't do anything. So pretty rubbish magic phase. I had like 19 power dice and did 1 wound. End of the combat phase, bit of a turn up for the books for the elves.
Yeah.
The Dark Riders in the flank caused a wound with the charge, took 1 in return, and then I think it just rolled a 9 on its.
Yeah, well, really badly.
So it ended up taking
3 more wounds.
So it's got
4
4. We should move that one. Really.
Yeah.
So it's only got like 2 guys left. It did pass its leadership test to reform and face them though. And over here, Manticore did no wounds because of the 3+ ward, and then the Fimir Balefiend, 4+ to hit and 5s to wound with 3 attacks, and it caused 2 wounds to the Manticore, which fled, and 2 of the Seekers crumbled as well. Right, so now it's Demons' turn 4. So Demons' turn 4 movement. Again, nothing stirs over there. The what they call slashers, screamers, flew over the Kharybdiss and did like 3 wounds to it. It's really good. And the Plaguebearers charged the front of the Executioners, and the Plague Drones charged the back. The Giant has moved here to sort of stop this unit from charging, or basically because their friend they charged the Giant, they have to overrun, take him out of the game.
Manticore failed.
Oh, the Manticore, yeah, Leadership 5, isn't it? Failed and flapped away, yeah.
You want some?
I'll give it to you.
So, magic phase for Demons. What happened? I genuinely can't remember.
Didn't actually cast anything successfully.
So
everything that I cast got dispelled.
Yeah, and then you failed to cast the Tzeentch spell.
Yeah.
Just because it's quite a lot.
Yeah. Cast Dwellers and you dispelled it.
Oh yeah, Dwellers on Hellebron too.
Yeah.
And,
that's pretty much it, really.
Shooting was good. The cannon took the last wound off the Kharybdiss, which died.
Yeah.
After it took its last wound, obviously.
Yeah.
There was no other shooting.
That's it. So it's just combat.
Yeah. And the combat phase. This
guy is mental.
This Balefiend did a number onto the Seekers.
Seekers, yeah.
Killed 2, and they just crumbled. Didn't do anything to him. And then
this one.
Yeah, over here I lost 3 guys, but I stuck on like Legion 5 or something. And then predictably the Executioners and everything was wiped out, and these units reformed like that. So it's on to Elves turn 5. Elves turn 5, end of movement. So Hellebron passed her test not to charge, and she just marched to that position, so she's out of everyone's charge arc and she can hopefully, if she survives, charge that Fulcrum next turn. Spearman got out of the way of the Giant, and I hope they might be needed to hold up the Soul Grind or something. And the Warlocks move around to there, away from the Plague Drones. And there's nothing else to move, so that's it. Oh yeah, the Witch Elves charged the Pink Horrors as well. Here's my roll for magic, it's the highest one in the game so far. So, end of my magic phase, yeah, I've got loads of dice. I got a -2 toughness off onto the Giant from this guy. Who had like +7 to cast or something because of the magic spinner, and then I irresistible force the 4 dice a Doombolt onto the Giant and easily killed him. And that's it. Yeah, no shooting. On to combat. Right, so it's combat with the Witch Elves versus the Plaguebearers. Witch Elves hit with all attacks and got got 4 poison wounds as well, and then they wounded with a ton, so they got absolutely loads of wounds on the Pink Horrors. Pink Horrors rolled their 5+ ward saves. Look at that. Right, so I mean, they take what, 4?
5 wounds.
5 die. No ones to reroll. So only 5 Pink Horrors die. Obviously, they're going to lose and probably crumble, but that's pretty good going.
Because you've only got 5 wounds. I haven't attacked yet.
How dare you, sir?
So the Pink Horrors lost 1 from crumble. That is insane. Right, so no other combats are there?
Nope.
No. Right, on to
my movement.
Demons turn 5 movement. Yeah. The Soul Grinder reformed like so.
Well, he reformed in the last.
Oh, it was already like that. Okay.
Yeah.
These tried to swift reform but failed. The Skull Cannon, of course, can move. So even though she was behind this thing, it moved around so it could shoot at her. Hellebron, that is. The Bloodletters had an easy charge into the flank of the Witch Elves. What did you just march them up?
I marched them up, yeah. So time charge.
And then these flew over and then back. And did a wound with a slashing attack.
So,
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, very good. The Manticore continued its beautiful flight towards the edge of the board and hasn't quite gone off the edge yet. Wins a magic roll for Demons. For the 3rd time in 5 turns, they get to summon a unit.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm going to summon them.
End of Demons magic. I think loads of spells went through. We've got
loads of little spells off, basically.
Yeah. Poison attacks on the Bloodletters. I dispelled the
Curse the Leper on the
Curse the Leper on the Pink Horrors.
They've got -1 weapon skill now.
Mine's on weapon skill initiative on the Witch Elves. And then a Forest, which we just didn't bother putting down. Forest was summoned by the Truthsayer onto the Spearmen, causing 2d6 strength 4 hits, killed all but 2, then they fled from panic and one of them died from dangerous terrain.
From the non-existent forest.
Yeah. I had loads of spells left because I was saving it in case a big spell like Grandfather No Circle Life was cast, but it's risky, so my opponent decided not to risk the Great Unclean One dying just to cast that. So on to shooting.
Yep.
Can Hellebron survive? Well, against the odds, Hellebron's still standing. The first grape shot from the Soul Grinder only got 2 shots, hit with 1, wounded. Then failed to wound. Then the Flame Cannon caused 1 wound against her. Grape shot from this one just misfired, can't shoot this turn or next. So she's alive. And these guys haven't been ready for the shooting attack.
Nope. So just this combat then?
Just combat, yeah. Right, this combat over here, only combat of the turn. The Witch Elves killed all the Pink Horrors.
And 2 Bloodletters.
And 2 Bloodletters from the one that was in base contact with them. Pink Horrors obviously all died before they could attack. Bloodletters killed 1. And they didn't lose any from Crumble, but the Witch Elves obviously reformed to kill next turn. Dark Elves turn 6 movement. The Warlocks have come round to here. Oh yeah, obviously Hellebron has charged these summoned pink Plaguebearers. That's it. So in my magic phase, I started off with Arnzipal's Black Horror from Malekith towards the Bloodcrushers, but it misfired, which seems to happen every time we use vortexes. Malekith passed his strength test, but that was annoying. Then I Irresistible Force again boosted Doombolt on these guys, killed 2 of them. So unfortunately 1 will still survive to charge into this guy. And that's all that happened. Right, so the Witch Elves did well against Bloodletters, killing 5 and losing like 1 or 2. But then the Bloodletters rolled double 1 on their instability test and got all the guys back. So that's annoying again. Hellebron killed 4 or 5 of the Plaguebearers, but they only need to get 2 wounds on her. She had toughness 3, no saves. And they just about did it, so she is dead. But we realised afterwards, even if she'd killed them and overrun, this unit could have charged and then challenged with a champion in turn 6, so she couldn't have killed that guy anyway. Right, that's it. So, Demons movement. These guys flew onto this guy, Fimir Balefiend, did a slashing attack and killed him.
And they've been awesome.
They've been really good.
They killed.
They did a lot with the
Bloodletters.
Kharybdiss.
2 wounds to the Kharybdiss. They've killed him by themselves.
They killed some Witch Elves. And
Killed some Witch Elves. They took 3 wounds, I think, off the Kharybdiss actually. 3 wounds.
yeah, they did a lot. Yeah,
They took 3 wounds off him as well.
So basically, this guy didn't charge just to allow them to do their slashing attack. So I got no way of getting the other models off their fulcrums. Obviously, there's no spells being cast this turn just in case there's some sort of catastrophe. So that pretty much ends the game there. We did play out this combat.
And shooting.
Oh yeah, shooting. The Soul Grinder killed the lone spearman with his flame template. Witch Elves did badly against Bloodletters and finally died. And yeah, they died to a man or to a woman actually. And that's it. So Demons win on fulcrums.
But we're going to turn that victory
we'll
points
look at the victory
we
points.
always like doing that.
I think Demons has easily won on victory points as well. So we'll just total those up now as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, good game. Good game. At least Malekith didn't stumble off his fulcrum.
Yeah, or die.
Or die.
I think he's blown up on the fulcrum before as well.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I enjoyed that battle a lot.
It was really good fun.
Was
Yeah,
good.
really good fun.
Yeah, some cool stuff happened. Right, so yeah, we'll just look at the victory points now. Right, so victory points reveals a sorry tale for the Dark Elves. It's 970 points for the Dark Elves, but 2,217 for Demons. So that's a huge victory as well. And yeah, I mean, the Soul Grinder did really well. It gutted 2 units basically.
Plus killed. It basically killed.
And it killed the last
killed loads of spearmen.
Yeah.
It killed, including the last spearman. Killed a load of executioners. Took a wound off.
Took a wound off Hellebron. I think you only did 2 wounds there, didn't you?
So it took the wound and needed off Hellebron. And yeah. And it killed Dark Riders.
Killed the Dark Riders, yeah. Yeah, despite a shaky start. The Screamers did loads of wounds to everyone, as mentioned. And the Great Unclean One didn't. I don't think he cast a single spell, did he?
No, he can't. Yeah, he cast a few spells at the end on here.
Poison on there,
which, to be fair, helped.
It tipped the combat a little bit.
Tipped the combat a little bit.
I think he got a wound or 2 through with that. But I mean, his job was just to make that fulcrum unassailable, a bit like Malekith, although the Great Unclean was a lot scarier in combat. So the Skullcan did well actually. It killed the spawn, greater spawn,
and it finished off the Kharybdiss.
Yeah, finished off the Kharybdiss. I mean, yeah, that's enough really. That's enough for it to do. So yeah, lots of good performances from those units, and having 3 units of Plaguebearers summoned helped control the combats and positioning as well.
Demons do well out of Storm Magic.
Definitely, yeah, really well.
Because their table always ends up being good and never ends up being bad because you're on 4 dice.
Yeah. There's a lot of high power dice for both of us actually.
Yeah, we didn't have any. I think the lowest we had was about 13.
At the start, there was a couple. Yeah, but then we would get like 19, 20, 21 stuff.
Interestingly, no miscasts.
Nothing bad happened with miscast. In fact, the only
miscast was with your Warlocks.
My Warlocks miscast 3 times deliberately to get through Doombolt, and obviously that doesn't affect them badly at all.
I didn't miscast once.
No.
With anyone.
Yeah. Problem I had with Malekith.
I know I miscast with the Pink Horrors.
That's pretty nasty for them, yeah. Problem with Malekith is that dark magic is fairly short range, so being on that fulcrum, you couldn't really cast anything much anyway.
I just avoided him.
Yeah, and Doombolt is out of range for all the game, I think. I guess same with the Great Unclean One. Nurgle's quite short range.
Yes, they are, yeah.
So he, combined with the fact obviously you don't want to risk your unassailable fulcrum being blowing up or something. Yeah. But that was a really good battle. Need to get out this losing streak.
Yeah, it's 4 in a row with me and you.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. But yeah, that was awesome as always. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.